All right, man. I didn't want to come out here and talk about this, but yeah, man, here we are yet again. Let's talk about cheaters and Call of Duty, how they're addressing it, right? How Call of Duty, how Activision is addressing the cheating problem in Call of Duty Warzone and in Black Ops 6. So let's get into it. All right, first tweet. Activision says they're going to take down cheat providers and have taken down over 20 so far. They posted this thing that's kind of, I don't want to say cringe, but it's all weird. They say 20 plus cheat makers and dozens of cheat resellers are out of business and we're not slowing down since Call of Duty Black Ops 6 launched. And, you know, I guess first off, I want to commend you for doing this. This is the first question though, that, you know, is I think in my opinion, a very fair question. How is this even possible? How does your game even have 20 plus cheat makers and dozens of cheat resellers? How is this a thing since Black Ops 6 launched, right? Call of Duty inherently is not that new every year, right? It's the same base engine. Many people say it's the exact same game, right? If you look at the weapons and stuff like that, people are just like, oh, it's the same game. Oh, you're bringing firing range and Nuketown back. It's the same game, right? Like a lot of people, like you can make this argument very, very easily. And I guess the fact that it's the same game going over and over again, how do you have this cheat problem every single year, right? Like, wouldn't you think that the company would nip this in the bud? In my opinion, it's kind of like a McDonald's or some burger restaurant that consistently just has like an E. coli problem, right? Or like a germs problem. Like, wouldn't you have this problem like once and then like try your absolute hardest and never again? Like, this is something that literally like chases people away from your restaurant. It's the same with cheaters, right? If you're a casual fan, you experience a cheater, you're not coming back to this game. You're just like, oh, this game's infested with cheaters, or oh, this game's just not fun because people are too sweaty or whatever, right? You're not going to come back to this game. And so shouldn't this be your like numero uno priority, Activision? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, I get that you're saying, you know, you took 20 plus out and you're not slowing down. Congrats. I don't think this needs to be said. That's like a McDonald's employees telling you like, hey, we're washing our hands every day, guys. We're wearing gloves. Like, are you supposed to stand up and applaud for like what would, in my opinion, be like the most basic, like, duh moment? Like, is that just me? Am I just tripping here? Anyway, let's get into the second thing I wanted to talk about, spam reporting. Activision says that spam reporting does absolutely nothing to a person's account. It says that spam reporting in Call of Duty can't put you in any shadow ban system. Let's go ahead and read this post. You've said spam reporting does not impact a player's account status. Is that true? Whether it's in-game or if a cheat developer creates a hack to submit 10,000 reports, spam reporting does nothing. Subsequent reports provide no additional information. You already told us someone seems fishy. Submitting the same report again doesn't add more detail. In fact, spamming reports beyond malicious reporting being against our policy reduces the trust we have in future reports from an account and may result in punitive measures. So inherently here, Activision is basically just saying, yeah, don't spam report. And it's also trying to cover itself in saying that, like, when a cheat provider or some hacker basically tries to spam report somebody, it gets them into a shadow ban lobby. Now, I don't know, man. I feel like, in my opinion, we've seen this kind of happen. A lot of accounts are in shadow ban lobbies, and I don't know. I think like a lot of people just don't believe this, right? A lot of people are just like logging in and they can't get into a lobby. They're not like, you know, they're not like unable to play, for instance, but in a shadow ban lobby, for people who don't know, a shadow ban lobby is basically a lobby where it takes you far, far longer to get into a lobby, and you're most likely playing with hackers and other people who are like suspicious of hacking, right? And so you're not playing in normal lobbies no more, and the lobby queue time maybe like triples, maybe quadruples, right? Like, it's just not a great situation to be in. And with that, people just don't believe this, right? Beyond malicious reporting being against our policy, it reduces the trust we have in future reports from an account. It's like, okay, we have a trust issue now. Like, I think people are, you know, spam reporting because they think that there's a cheater, right? They think that there's something wrong in their lobby. Like, why would you punish them for that? Like, I get that there's a lot of like false reports and like, you know, little kids who don't know what like the tracker perk is, and they're like, hey, how did this guy have footsteps on my screen? He's cheating. Like, I get that. There's probably a lot of that going on, right? Especially since people think that like Call of Duty Twitter and Call of Duty Reddit is like the entirety of Call of Duty's fan base, but no, there's a huge casual fan base out there that has no idea what Reddit is, right? And they're playing Call of Duty every day, and they're spam reporting, they're accusing people of cheating and stuff like that. So I get it. There's most likely a huge spam report problem, but it doesn't really instill a lot of trust. It's just like saying like, oh, okay, I guess I just can't report anybody. Like, I guess there's no cheaters then, you know. That's not a great system. Speaking about it, let's talk about the shadow ban system. So, yeah, there's some posts from Charlie Intel, and you know, I'm not going to read all of it. Essentially, it's like it refers to, you know, how the shadow ban system works, and talks about how this system is a necessary part when an account is detected of suspicious activity. It allows the player to keep playing matches in a separate pool from standard matchmaking while the team collects evidence. But the problem with this is that you're shadow banned for a while, first off, if you get in there. Second of all, it's not... how should I put this, right? It's not a good place to be because you're not getting in like real lobbies, and it doesn't make you want to play this game. And so if you're innocent and you're shadow banned, like what are you supposed to do, right? Like you're just not going to play the game. Like honestly, if I got shadow banned and I was innocent, which I obviously am, I'm not cheating this game. You can tell in the gameplay, I'm not a cheater in Call of Duty. It's just like, why would I continue playing this game, right? Like I'm not doing that. They make it seem like accounts in limited matchmaking make up less than 0.15% of the entire player population, which I'm guessing is probably true. But for those players, especially for those who are not cheating, what are you supposed to do? It tells you how like, oh, people who are in this are probably dropping improbable stats or something like that. But you still run into cheaters, right? If you're just hop in ranked play. If you're at any high level, just hop in ranked play. You probably run into a cheater. Warzone, you know, eventually if you play long enough, you'll probably run into a cheater, right? And yeah, man, they're not telling you anything. A lot of people are accusing these scripts of being like AI generated. It doesn't feel like they care about you. It just feels like, hey, you might be cheating. We're just gonna dump you in here until we figure out, you know, if you're cheating or not. And you know, it's intentional. So matchmaking adjustments can't be circumvented during the account investigation, which I get it. You know, you don't want to have a suspected hacker mixed in with your, I don't know, man. It just feels like Call of Duty don't care about you. It just doesn't think. I just don't think that they care about you. Last thing I want to talk about here. Activision says many players believe someone is cheating when in reality they are not. Over 60% of received cheater reporting in Call of Duty Warzone have been against console players. In Season 3, Killcam has been updated with more info to help alleviate this. So cool, I guess. It's good stuff in terms of, you know, how they're trying to approach this. I will say, oddly enough, I probably agree with this. 60%, like over 60% of received cheater reports have been against console reports. And basically many players believe someone's cheating when in reality they're not. I agree with this. They probably are. But the problem is that if you have so many people like believing this, then there's a high chance that you're the one in the wrong, right? Like you can't blame somebody for this. If you're setting up a system where it's like likely that they are, right? Like it's kind of like, you know, if McDonald's has E. coli, right? And you know, you and your friend go, and then like 2 days later or something like that, you're both like super sick. Like, yeah, it could be the flu. It could be we both got COVID, or it's, you know, likely that you got E. coli because you came from there and you both came from there. And it's like, that's kind of what's happening. Like, you're probably running into a cheater because there's a lot of cheating going on. So it's like you could be blaming people for like, oh, they're cheating and maybe they're not. But I guess in a game and a system where it's like pretty evident that there are a lot of cheaters, are you really going to be surprised or blaming, you know, the company or the game for having this like cheating output? Like, I don't know, man. In my opinion, I'd just be like, oh, okay, yeah, it was kind of obvious that would happen. So that's that, man. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I don't love talking about the whole cheating situation because it's just like, we talk about this all the time. And it doesn't feel like Call of Duty is doing anything but, Warzone's coming out, the new season. We'll see how it goes. I'll see if I play it, but that's going to do it, man. Hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Happy Monday. Leave a like on the video and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. I'll see you guys later. Peace.